right here is as far as you go. Burn it all down, burn it all down. I don't give a fuck. Burn it all down, burn it to the ground. Take the flames, go insane. Burn it all down, burn it all down.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright, what is up guys? So, we are going to be taking a look at the Overwatch Ultimates Jesse McCree by Hasbro. So I want to do this in a kind of quick review format where I'm just kind of talking about the necessities instead of going into like great detail, you know, with pictures and audio and all that stuff. Just because I had to do all that for a school project, and I'm really not, you know, trying to do all that again, trying to take a break from that for a little bit. Yeah, anyway, pretty cool figure. He does have some issues, which I am going to point out. But if you have the patience, or you know, you're able to fix some of these issues, then you know you'll have a pretty damn solid figure. So yeah, this is a character from the game Overwatch, which is a hero shooter, pretty popular. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Overwatch. I dig the characters, character designs, and the story. I think it's cool. I think I played Overwatch like maybe one time, and I kind of sucked at it, but I managed to get the Legendary Edition for pretty cheap, so I'll eventually get to sit down and play that, see how it is. Anyway, yeah, so this is Jesse McCree. If you don't know his origin story, to basically summarize it, he was part of a outlaw gang called the Deadlock Gang with Ash and Bob, and basically he ended up getting caught by Blackwatch, by Gabriel Reyes, who becomes Reaper, and he ends up giving McCree two choices. Either he can join Blackwatch or he can go to jail for the rest of his life. Obviously McCree chose to be a part of Blackwatch, and he was for a little bit, but then when John Morse, or I'm sorry, what is his name? Jeez, it slipped my mind there. Jack Morrison. I don't know why it took me that long to think of his name. I was thinking John Morrison, that's the wrestler one. Jack Morrison, who's Soldier 76, or who becomes Soldier 76. Him and Gabriel Reyes end up having a fallout, and then it's revealed to the public and to the whole world that you know, Blackwatch and all the kind of under the table kind of ongoings that they were doing. So they were disbanded, and as all this was going on, McCree just decided to leave Blackwatch and he disappeared, and he ended up becoming a vigilante. So that's how we end up with this version of McCree here. Now I do eventually hope that we do get a Blackwatch version of McCree, because it's a pretty clean design, but it's going to be Hasbro would have to figure out a way to do a non-cybernetic arm, because McCree didn't get the cybernetic arm until after he left Blackwatch. So yeah, but I mean, getting that all out of the way, he's a pretty solid figure. He's pretty true to what he looks like in the game. And that's dope. He even has the let me see where my pointer is. I have a pointer right here somewhere. I'm trying to, there it is. My little hand-me pointer. So he has the BAMF on the belt, which stands for Badass Motherfucker, which is pretty cool that they were able to put that on there. On a kid's toy, of all things. As a hat, the you know, the knee pad there, the 45 rounds for his Peacemaker. He's got the boomsticks on the side. Let me see if I can kind of turn this so you can see this a little better. Trying to get it to the light. We'll catch it. Let's see. There we go. So he has the boomsticks right there. Like I said, the 45 rounds right there. He's got the body armor right there. He's got the sprues on the back there, and he has a sprue on the back of his 45, which is cool. He's got the cybernetic arm, which is pretty detailed. A lot of people haven't really been talking about that, but that's dope. I think that's really cool the way they did that. The poncho is cool, but it's also a pain in the ass at the same time, because it's cool that they were able to have it, that it's a separate piece, but the problem is that it's such a it's not a super hard rubber, but the kind of material they used is just, it's not soft enough to where you want to get them like really good in poses, so it kind of sucks. I wish they had either made it out of a softer material or just went full fabric, because if you've ever seen their Black Series stuff, you know, they go full, you know, they go fabric and use fabric material on some of the stuff for their characters sometimes. So I don't know why they weren't able to do that, but it's kind of whatever. The face is pretty damn spot on. Let me move his hand here so you can see his face. Trying to get this so that you can. There we go. So trying to get it, but the way that his hat is, it doesn't allow you to really. There we go. Trying to get it so that the light captures it. So looks pretty badass. I dig it. I added the little cigar and the gritting teeth. So the actual version you're gonna see in the store or online is not gonna have the scar, because this is Hasbro, and they're mainly trying to target this at kids and not so much adult collectors. But if you do want him to do that, I can do a video explaining how I was able to do the cigar so that you guys can do that yourself. Or you can get the Figma version, which has the cigar, but is way more expensive than him. So yeah, everything looks good. Cowboy boots look good. You know, not a lot of paint, but you know, it's appreciated where it is on the figure. But yeah, overall it's a pretty like subtle design. It's not like eye-popping like like Soldier 76 or like Somber, or anyone like that. So which is appreciated. Like, I'll show you difference in terms of like colors. Like, McCree's pretty subtle, while Somber's got this color scheme here with the blues and the purples and the pinks and all that type of stuff. So you can see that his design isn't loud, which is cool. Now that I got that out of the way, we can talk about his accessories. So his accessories, pretty simple. He comes with that you see right there in his hand right here, which is his hat holding hand, which it works for what it is. You're able to get him to hold it. It just depends, because of the way that his articulation is up here. It's gonna want to fight. It's gonna want to fight the bend, but if you force it a little bit, it will eventually take to right there. See, so pretty cool. So you get that. You get the open hand here. Not sure if it's blurry or not. There we go. So you get, wow. So you get his cybernetic hand here, which comes into play with this pistol. So you get that, and you also get the blast effect for his gun. And like I said, you get the 3 boomsticks, which you can hold. They do come off. The issue I have here is that the boomsticks don't fit on there as nice as I would have liked. There we go. So you can hold them, which is cool. But yeah, I don't really like how loose those are. Like you can see I only have 2 of them because I lost one because that's what happens when they don't, fit so securely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out his 45 back here and I'm gonna work with that, but yeah, so I'm gonna do the little hand swap here real quick, and we're gonna look at how that is. Like I said, this is just gonna be like a kind of off the fly type of view here, not like all fancy and stuff like that. So it's all good. It's all good. So let's see here. There we go. Okay, so essentially got him in a pose that I'm gonna pose him real quick. Okay. Alright, sweet. So I got him in a pose that I like him in. So here's where one of the issues comes to play. Just pop this little effect piece in here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I got him in a little pose here with his hand here. So this is essentially what the other hand is for. It's for slamming on the hammer of his gun like he does in the game. Like one of his like super moves, or one of his like power up moves that you're able to do is you're able to have him where he's able to fire off the 6 shots at once. Like I said, like he's slamming on the hammer, like you see in like old gun shooter films and stuff like that. So he's straight up Clint Eastwooding it right there. But yeah, the issue, I don't know if you can see it on his, you probably can't see the foot. The main issue I have, and a lot of people have had, is with his ankles. The issue is that they didn't put the peg as deep as we would have liked. And when I mean we, I mean, collectors. So what you have to do is you have to essentially pop the feet off, like you can see there. You can pop the feet off. And what you do is you're able to basically you have to take either a Dremel or you can use an X-Acto knife, which is what I did, and make the peg a little bit deeper. And then what I did was I put super glue on there, put crazy glue around the peg so that it would take to that hole a little bit nicer and it would have a nice tighter fit. Got Spike back here trying to fall over. No, don't fall on me, Spike. Oh boy. Okay. Spiegel's trying to fall on us. Okay. So like I was saying, so you have to do that essentially to get them to be able to, stand up straight as well. Because if you don't do this ankle mod, you're essentially stuck with a figure that can't really stand that well. So, kind of sucks. But like you saw in the review earlier, you can see that his feet sit flat now, so he's not doing any of that. And then if you want him to go ahead and sit flat, his feet to sit flat while he's got the stance like that, it works. But once you get that issue out of the way, he's a pretty solid figure. You're able to get him in some pretty cool poses. You want him to look all, gunslingery, like he's jumping to the side, and then like do a roll and something like that, like do a roll. So it works out in the end. So yeah, if I had to give him a some type of grading or something like that, I'd give him a solid B+. I think a B+ or a B in terms of grading, and I'd recommend picking him up if you can find him. I know GameStop has him, and I believe Amazon has him, but I'm not too sure what his price is on there. But like I said, if you can find him, definitely pick him up. I think at GameStop he's like 22 change, I think, but sometimes they'll have sales. Like they had a sale that it was like 50% off all their Overwatch stuff. So if some of those sales pop up, then definitely pick him up. And once you fix, like I said, once you fix the ankles, he's pretty much a solid figure, and he's definitely a unique figure in collection. So pretty cool. But if you want to see some comparisons between some other figures, you can do that before I end this. So here he is compared to some of the Lightning Collection figures. Like this is him compared to, trying to move him back here. So this is him compared to Beast Morphic Blue. So you can see he's a little bit shorter. I'm going to compare him to a fellow Overwatch hero, which is Tracer. This is the Figma Tracer from Overwatch. As you can see, she's way shorter. Here she is, or here he is. I'm sorry, I'm thinking we're reviewing Tracer here. So here he is compared to Sombra. So this is how the ladies stand, or at least one of the only female figures I have at the moment. So here's Sombra. She stands with him. She's shorter, so there's that. And then of course Tracer's like way shorter than the other two, which makes sense because her character is supposed to be shorter than the rest of the other figures. So that makes sense. So there's that. Here is Mr. McCree compared to the DC Multiverse Killer Croc Wave Red Hood, which is like one of the last figures Mattel has made for the DC line. So you can see he's a lot taller because I believe he's 7 inches. And then I'm going to compare him with 2 figure arts because that's the last 2 that I need to compare. So here he is compared to a fellow cowboy, which is the SH figure art Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. So you can see he's a lot shorter, but because figure arts are in a whole different scale, they're a little bit shorter. And then here he is compared to the SH figure art Street Fighter V Chun-Li, which the Street Fighter figures are a lot taller than the regular figure arts figures, so she's clearly a lot taller than the regular ones. But in terms of height, she works because she is a short character in the game, so it makes sense that she's a short character in figure form. So now that I got that out of the way in the grading, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Overwatch Ultimates Jesse McCree. So if you guys enjoyed the review, give me a like. Sub would be appreciated since I just started on BitChute. So there's pretty much that. Thank you very much for watching, and till the next review. Action Figure Addict 112 out.